Hey, what's up my friends? It's Danny. I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas, where I am visiting for the week, but that is no excuse not to share an awesome real estate YouTube video with you. So today we are going to answer the question, what is going to happen with the real estate market in 2021? Is it going to crash? Is it going to keep going up? Is it going to stay flat? We will see today. I'm going to show you the charts, the graphs, and all of that good stuff, and I'm going to tell you my prediction. I'm going to whip out my crystal ball and share with you what I think is going to happen in 2021 with real estate. Let's go. Hey, what's up you guys? Thanks for tuning in. This is Danny Batsalkin. I'm a real estate broker, a business and real estate coach, an entrepreneur, and a former attorney. And as you know, on this channel, we talk about the topics that you want to hear about. That's real estate, business, finance, current events, a little bit of politics here and there, and everything that's going on in the world. So I want to thank you for tuning in. If you're already a subscriber, I appreciate you so much. And if you are not yet a subscriber, hit that like button on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I release new videos, which is a lot. And make sure to follow me over on all the social channels. Pick your favorite one. I think I'm on all of them for updates every single day. And by the way, guys, if you haven't started investing yet, make sure you pick up your free stocks at Webull. Click the link in the description below. We got 4 free stocks for you, up to $1,600 each. I started investing there earlier this year. It's been really great. So check that out. Who doesn't love free stuff? All right, you guys. So on today's video, we're going to answer the question, what is going to happen with the real estate market in 2021. Here we are. It's December. By the way, I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas today, where I'm spending a week checking it out, hanging out with my friends and family. Are we moving to Texas? Who knows? You're going to have to stay tuned on the YouTube channel, and I will share with you and over on Instagram as well what's happening with me and my family in our life and what we have planned next. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. This is about the real estate market. So question of the day for you, what do you think is going to happen with the real estate market? Do you think it's going to continue to go up at the frantic pace that it's been going at? Do you think it's going to stay flat? Do you think it's going to go down? Are we headed for a housing market crash in 2021? I would love to hear from you. Throw that in those comments below. One of my favorite things about the YouTube channel is responding and interacting directly with you. So I'd love to do that with you. Looking forward to chatting with you down there. Anyhow, guys, let's go ahead and rock and roll, and let's talk about the real estate market. So on this channel, on my real estate market update videos, we don't guess, we don't make stuff up. We go straight to the charts and graphs. We look at the data, not the drama, and tell you exactly what's happening and then where I think the market's going to go. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, guys, so here we are. I'm taking you behind the scenes of my multiple listing service charts and graphs program, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm looking at when I make my analysis so that you can come to your own conclusion about the data as well. Of course, be sure to stay until the end of this video. I'm going to share my prediction with you and what I think is going to happen with the real estate market in 2021 and beyond. So I'm going to show you a couple different charts and graphs here, guys. Let's start with the available homes for sale. What you will notice, guys, and you can see this right in this chart, is that we are really at an all-time low. This is the last 3 years, but if you look at the entire multiple listing service that I'm looking at, by the way, I should give you a quick caveat. This is for the greater Los Angeles area. This is a huge area, so this is pretty representative of a big city and what it's looking like in a lot of big cities, but wherever you are, I definitely encourage you to check out the stats in your area. If you need the help of a professional real estate agent in your area, let me know. We have an awesome referral network with our team. I can help you wherever you are. So anyway, back to the chart. So check this out, guys. As you can see, this is available supply. Real estate is all about supply and demand. If you watch my market update videos, I talk about that all the time. So the supply right now is really low. In the entire multiple listing service, we have 63,000 homes available for sale. If you're in a smaller market, that might sound like a lot, but look at where it's been. So the high over the last few years, June 2019, summertime, a lot of people selling, was 116,000. So we are down, roughly less than half, or a little more than half, I should say, of where the high was. Now, the inventory usually is seasonal, guys, so I will mention that. But this is way more than seasonality, because if we look back at November of last year, we were at 93,000. And if you look over here, we are down 32% from where we were last year in terms of inventory. So again, guys, real estate is all about supply and demand. So what happens when the supply is low? If you guessed that there's an upward pressure on prices when that happens, you would probably be right. We do need to look at the demand side of the equation. We know that if there's way less homes available for sale, the prices will probably start going up if demand is relatively equal. So we're going to take a look at that in just a second. Let's move on. All right, you guys, the next chart I want to show you is the median sales price. And if you take a look at this, as I mentioned on my last market update video last month, the median sales price had hit an all-time high of $570,000 and some change. And in this month's edition, it is pretty much at the same level. It hasn't really moved. So the median sales price is staying really high. And as you can see over the last 3 years, again, that's an all-time high. It just continues to go up. I mean, it's down $400, but for all intents and purposes, it's right there. And then year over year, it is up almost 19%. So we've seen some really, really big appreciation here in our area in the real estate market. The big question, of course, is can that be sustained? One more chart I want to show you guys is the median days on market. So this is something that a lot of people look at. What this chart tells us is how many days on market does a house sit before it sells? The median, which is the middle number. Half are below, half are above. A little bit different than the average, but very similar for our purposes. So if you look right now, guys, the median days on market in our entire multiple listing service is 16 days. Now, guys, I got to tell you, that is extremely, extremely low. If you look back, we are down from last year about 43%. So if you look back to November of last year, here we go, November 2019, it was up at, right there, 28 days on market. I will tell you in the wintertime, the median days on market, I almost said average days on market, the median days on market tends to go up a little bit as houses sit a little more on the market. In the summertime, they tend to sell quicker, which is why you kind of see this in this seasonality in this chart. But this year, we're kind of bucking that trend. Might be coronavirus, lockdown, anything related to that. But right now, the median days on market is extremely low. We really consider anything under about 30 days to be a seller's market. It's a low inventory, low days on market type of real estate market, housing market, and that is definitely what we're seeing right now. So what that also tells us is that your property, if it looks nice, if it's marketed correctly, if it's priced appropriately, and of course, if you're working with a great real estate team like Discover Properties, it's gonna sell quickly. And by the way, guys, if real estate is in your plans, be sure you click the link below in the description to contact us. We work with clients all across the country. Our headquarters is in Southern California, but we also have an amazing referral network. So anywhere you are, we got you covered when it comes to real estate. Just check that link below. So anyhow, guys, days on market, median, extremely low. And then the last chart I want to show you guys in these charts is my favorite chart if you've been following my market updates, and that is called the month's supply of inventory chart. What the month's supply of inventory chart tells us is if no new homes came on the market, how long would it take for everything to sell out? So what that chart really tells us, guys, is supply and demand, because it shows us how many months of inventory there are based on current level of demand. So this is a very important chart, and I'm going to give you the key to this chart. The key to this chart is that anything between 3 and 6 months is a balanced market for the most part, meaning there's about the same number of sellers and buyers. Things are selling at about a normal pace. Anything below 3 months on the market means it's a heavy seller's market. There's not a lot of houses on the market. There's a lot of people that want to buy those homes. They're going to sell quickly. Anything above a 6-month supply on the market is a heavy buyer's market, meaning there are a lot of homes on the market. There really isn't a lot of demand happening, and so buyers have their choice of homes. Typically, that will put downward pressure on prices. Prices will start to come down. That's not where we are right now. So right now, guys, as you can see, we are at 3.4 months supply of inventory. So that should tell you that we're, at the very low end of a balanced market. And that's kind of the feeling that we're getting, although it's kind of split, because I do see buyer preferences changing a little bit based on lockdowns and COVID and those kinds of things. And so in some markets, it's ridiculously hot. and in some areas it's not as hot because maybe the properties aren't as desirable. But again, if you look at this historically, it does go up and down, but we've been in between 6 and 3 for a very long time. We did dip down under 3 in September. We've come back up a little bit, but nothing really to be that concerned about. All right, guys, so we've looked at the charts. I'm going to share with you what I think and my opinion on the charts, but I want to hear from you also. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? What are these charts showing you, and where do you think the market is headed? All right, so here are my conclusions. First and foremost, guys, as we do in all these market updates, I want to share with you what this means for you depending on the situation that you're in. So let's start with sellers. We always start with buyers. Let's start with sellers. So if you are a seller right now, here are the things you should be thinking about. As I showed you, inventory is low, median days on market are low, month supply of inventory is low. So if you answered the question as saying, hey, if I'm a seller, I'm in a good position, you would be right. Because if you're a seller, you're in a good spot. Again, you got to price your home correctly, you have to market it properly, and it's got to show really, really well. I will tell you, there is a huge difference between the way homes are sold and the way you live in a house. If you don't do all of those phases of the home selling process properly, it could cost you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the most important thing you can do, again, guys, if you're thinking of selling your home, is reach out to us. It's absolutely free. Schedule a consultation with one of our expert realtors at Discover Properties. We'll hook you up. We'll talk about your house, your plans. We'll see what your goals are, and we will let you know what your home could sell for, how long it'll take, and all of those kinds of things. As I mentioned earlier, guys, I am seeing a shift in buyer preferences right now. Maybe that's due to lockdowns, maybe that's due to the pandemic, maybe that's due to kids not being in school full time in many places, but there is definitely a shift. There are certain things that have become more important for buyers. There are certain things that have become less important. That is very crucial when you're selling your home because you got to market it properly. But for all intents and purposes, if you're a seller, you are in a good spot. But again, who you work with really does matter. If you're a buyer right now, you might be thinking that you're in trouble. Hey, there's not a lot of homes and all this kind of stuff. But I will tell you that that is not necessarily the case. Because if you're a buyer right now, first of all, you could take advantage of the historically low interest rates. They are exceptionally low. That gives you an advantage if you lock in a rate that you can have for a really long time. So that's first and foremost something that is really good for you if you're a buyer. Also, if you're a buyer, just like if you're a seller, it is maybe even more important who you work with, maybe equally important, but definitely not less important, because you guys, a lot of the most desirable properties will sell with multiple offers, meaning there are a lot of people that want to buy them. As you saw, median days on market, 16 days, right? So the properties are selling really fast, at least the good ones. So if you're a buyer, you want to be working with a great real estate agent that can get you into the property quickly, that can see it, that can write up an amazing offer and get you that property. And I will tell you that a lot of times the agents on our team have been able to help our clients secure properties even when we're not the highest bidder, even if they don't have the best terms, because of the way we negotiate, because of the way we present offers, and all of those good things. So if you are looking to purchase a property, guys, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is just to go online, maybe find an agent there, or maybe get referred to someone who just got their license because they're someone's friend's cousin or something like that. Make sure that you are working with an amazing agent that has a great track record of helping buyers purchase properties in this kind of market. So if you're a buyer, you're in good shape. One of the biggest questions I do get from buyers is, should I buy now or should I wait? Maybe the market's going to cool down. Here's what I have to tell you. One of the best things I heard about real estate is don't wait to buy real estate and wait. So if you're planning on living in a property for 5, 7, 10 plus years, you most likely will not get hurt financially if you purchase a property regardless of the market. It is very hard to time the real estate market, and if you try to do that, you will usually miss out on some good properties, and it's almost impossible to buy right at the bottom. So if you're looking to purchase for a long term, buy now. Don't wait, don't think about it, don't look back, find a great property, use a great agent, and move on. All right, also guys, what I do want to mention, if you're a real estate agent right now, it's more competitive than ever for business because buyers and sellers, there are not as many transactions happening. As you saw, the median days on market is very low. And so if you're a real estate agent right now and you're looking at next year, right now is the time to start planning in your business. I have a link down below. I help tons of real estate agents with their businesses. We can chat about your goals, what you want to achieve, where you are, and I'll see if I can help you. If you're thinking of getting into real estate, book a consultation as well. I would be happy to have a chat with you about that and see where you want to go. And now, guys, it is time for my prediction for the real estate market. So we've talked about the charts, we've talked about the graphs, I've told you what this means for you, if you're a buyer, if you're a seller, if you are a real estate agent. But what do I think is going to happen with the real estate market? Well, guys, here is my prediction for next year, for 2021. Here's the thing, as we come out of this pandemic, hopefully we have some promising news with vaccines. There's other things happening. I do think the wintertime in most areas we will see an increase in cases because these viruses in the wintertime tend to increase as people gather indoors and things like that. Of course, different areas, different cities, different states are handling that differently. We won't comment on that in this video. I talk about enough of that in my other social channels. So with changing buyer demand, guys, and with the market being as high as it is, my opinion is that next year, I think we're going to start to see a leveling off in certain areas. I do believe that other areas with more space outside, with more things like that, will become more desirable. I believe that the densely populated areas may become a little less desirable as people understand that they can work from anywhere they want. So I don't necessarily think that the real estate market is going to go down. I don't think it's going to crash. What I do think is going to happen is that changing buyer preferences and changing buyer demand is going to shift the landscape a little bit on which properties are more desirable than others. But hey, who knows? We're going to have to stick around and see what happens with the real estate market. But again, I do want to reiterate that right now, what we do know is if you're a seller, you're in a good spot to sell as long as you market that property well. You put it on the market properly, price it well, and all that good stuff. If you're a buyer and you work with a great team that can find you a property maybe off market or maybe something where they can get you in before the crowd, then you're also in a good spot to lock in a great interest rate and have a fantastic property for you for a long time to come because, again, rates are low and all of that good stuff. And if you're a real estate agent, now's the time to start treating your business like a business for 2021 so that you can make it happen. So you guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you. I want to hear what you think. Let me know in those comments below, and I will see you on the next video.